Wes Rucker and Patrick Brown from GoVols 24/7 here at Owen Field, Oklahoma Memorial Stadium. Gaylord family. There's about 100 names to this field. Regardless, here's two names: Patrick Brown, Wes Rucker from GoVols 24/7, coming to you after Tennessee's 25-15 win over Oklahoma. Patrick, just like we expected, right? It was obviously the defense that carried Tennessee, the 6th-ranked Vols, over the 15th-ranked Sooners. A different way to win a football game, but this is one Josh Heupel would have taken any way he could get it.
Yeah, he almost felt like he was a little bit exhausted. There was a lot of emotions going into this game, and he even stopped at the end of his post-game press conference to thank the former teammates that he hasn't got a chance to reach back out to yet, and say that he would. He also thanked the people. He lost his mom earlier this year, and said that she has a lot of friends in this state, and she was really looking forward to this game. So undoubtedly he was thinking of his mother during this game, particularly at the end, obviously with Nico Iamaleava giving him the game ball. So that was a nice moment. But yeah, I think it shows the evolution of him as a coach, that he was a record-setting, national championship winning quarterback. Everywhere he's been, he's had high-powered offenses that score a lot of points, but he's got a really good Tennessee football team this year, and it starts with the defense. They were outstanding tonight. All three levels, leaked a little bit late, but ultimately you hold a team to 15 points, you're going to have a pretty good chance to win a lot of games.
Yeah, and I think there's a maturation process there as a coach. I mean, you're talking about a guy who most of the time he's been a head coach, no matter where he's been, he's needed 40 points to beat good teams, generally speaking, and so that affects the way you call third downs, fourth downs, when you put your special teams out there, when you don't. You know, there's a lot of things like games within a game there, and he said from about the midway point of the second quarter, it became pretty clear exactly what kind of game that was going to be, and he, for the most part, they just took their medicine. 3 or 4 plays, run a couple minutes off, punt it away. That's a much different way to manage a game. That we've seen that from Tennessee football, just not with this staff, but different horses for different courses, right? That's what they needed tonight.
Yeah, and Heupel, I know that we had a lot of conversation about the play calling in the second half, and Heupel was basically like, yeah, we tightened it up just to not, the way the defense was playing. Obviously, Oklahoma had a backup quarterback in the game. Their offense was not doing much at that point. No. Why give them anything cheap? And so that's why they were really conservative. I think you even saw it early in the game after the 4th down stop. They had the ball at the plus 42 and punted. That's a coach that thinks, hey, this could be a defensive struggle. It turned out to be a defensive struggle, and that's why I think they were pretty conservative in the second half. Ultimately got the job done. But go back to the evolution. They won this game with defense, and then the drive right before halftime was 8 straight running plays to Dylan Sampson. So he's that's an evolution of a coach. That's the kind of program that Tennessee has now, where they can win games this way. And there's probably going to be a game, West, where they're going to have to win a game 45-41 this season, where the offense is going to have to pick up the defense. But tonight, defense picked up the offense, particularly after a couple of turnovers. They got the football right back
immediately. The very next snap.
Very next play, and those were huge momentum plays in the second quarter. And that's again a program that's growing up too, because we've seen this on the road under Heupel. A lot of times they make a mistake and things can snowball. A lot of scoring runs in some of those road losses and some of those hostile environments, but not tonight.
Yeah, and I think, not having your first team left tackle going into the game, Lynchard not available, then your first team right tackle, John Campbell, goes down during the game and tries to come back, but he's not really good enough to play. So you're rolling with a guy who's a former walk-on, and you're rolling with a guy who came from JUCO and was a developmental piece. And that's nothing against them. They played, obviously they're sweating much more than we were tonight, but didn't go well at times, did enough to win the game. I thought Nico Iamaleava, his first career start, more good than bad. A couple of great plays that penalties kind of took back, but still a couple of great throws, a couple of big runs, big stuff from him.
Yeah, not a lot of false starts. I think there was maybe one. The 3 big pass plays were huge in this game. The touchdown to Dante Thornton hit him right in stride, and we saw Dante's speed on that play. And then the 2 big plays to Brew McCoy. One was a similar one to Dante that led to a field goal early, the first points of the game, and then in the second half a double move that it looked out of the hand and in the air that from up top up there that he might have led him too much, but Brew ran through the ball and made a great play. And so they had to take some of the short stuff, but when they were able to make some plays vertically down the field, and Oklahoma hadn't given up a lot of big plays, and those were big plays that, when it's tough sledding, when it's, the run game's a little bit stop-start, just Dylan Sampson and Sean Bishop ran really hard in this game.
Sampson's might be a little banged up too.
But, those big plays are gold, and they were obviously huge in this game to get Tennessee over the line.
Thought there was no chance, I'm with you, when Brew McCoy, that ball got was out of Nico's hands. I thought, ooh, they missed a big one there. But again, we've talked about it before. McCoy has another gear this season, and he goes to get those balls, makes more guys miss, looks lighter on his feet. It's unbelievable how far he's come in the past year from his injury.
The defensive line, we got to get to that.
That's what I was saying. I was going from one McCoy to the next one. I'll say Jermod McCoy forces I had a plan here. Jermod McCoy, the other McCoy, then goes in there and gets one of the interceptions. Obviously, Josh Jenkins forces a couple fumbles. Jason Jenkins gets a safety and another sack. Just huge, or Josh Joseph's, a couple of just unbelievable play from the defense tonight.
There were 2 plays late in the third quarter where Jackson Moy blew a play in the backfield for a tackle for loss, and then Jason Jenkins got a sink. He had a safety earlier in the game, and I'm like, these are Tennessee's third team defensive line. I mean, it's such a luxury, and they're so blessed to have all those dudes up there, and they're dudes too. I mean, we've seen them take over games. 2 weeks ago in Charlotte, here tonight, and if you've got that group up there, as long as they're playing like they are, Tennessee can go some big places.
And let's not forget, dude, Jackson Arnold. Everybody talks about Nico as a prospect. Jackson Arnold was also an unbelievable quarterback prospect.
Sent him to the bench.
And they got him, and the guy who he's going to go boom at some point. I still believe that. It's just not ready right now. But in a game like this, to get the starting quarterback sent to the benches, I mean, what kind of night it was, Pat.
Yeah, you took the will. That's what they did. They took NC State's will, and they took Oklahoma's will tonight too.
Yeah, and they'll try to do the same thing in Arkansas in 2 weeks after getting some R&R next week, maybe sharpening up a couple of things, and they'd like to play a little better offensively. Josh Joseph said that. That was a nice one. I don't know when we'll talk to him again after that, but that was certainly, always love it when we get to talk to him. But it was a big night for Tennessee, big night for Josh Heupel, big night for Joey Halsley, big night for everyone in the program, and we were here to talk about it. We'll have more coverage of it throughout the night, throughout the morning, throughout the next couple of days, obviously with next week being a bye week. But for now, we're saying goodbye to you after Tennessee beats Oklahoma 25-15 here in Norman. Patrick Brown, Wes Rucker.